Welcome back. You're watching the Storyboard special, and we are in conversation with WPP's Chief Executive Officer, Mark Reed, who's visiting India this week. Now, Mark, speaking of AI, WPP is strengthening AI capabilities across markets. You just entered into a partnership with NVIDIA end of May towards June. A couple of years ago, you acquired Satalia. I, in fact, met Daniel when he was here, and he spoke about your foresight when it came to AI. Tell us more. What are your big plans with AI and generative AI going forward?
Look, I think AI is fundamental to WPP's business in the future, and has been in some ways for some years in our media business and in our production business. I think what's changed with generative AI is we've seen the ability for computers to do things that we thought only humans could do. Produce images, take photos, create videos, write copy, write poems, all of those things that our creative people do. I think what excites our creative people is its ability now to bring their ideas to life much, much more quickly. I don't think it's going to eliminate creativity or creative judgment. I think it's going to make those things even more important. And when you talk about what we're doing, the NVIDIA partnership is a really good example. That people in the film industry, the Hollywood studios, have used NVIDIA for a long time. The Mandalorian was really created using their technology, but no one's really applied it to the advertising industry, that skill. So that's what we're doing. It enables our clients to create virtual sets in which their products, whether it be a car or a vacuum cleaner or a mobile phone, can come to life, and we can create content for clients much, much more cheaply than we ever could before using technology. And that enables us to create the plethora of content that clients are going to need in the future to populate the channels where they want to reach consumers.
Sure. And when I caught up with Daniel, he also mentioned that, as a chief, WPP's global chief AI officer, one of his jobs is to keep clients sober about new emerging technologies, including AI. Mark, from you, I want to understand, do business leaders, since you speak to clients on a day-to-day basis, do business leaders need more training and orientation, especially when it comes to usage of AI and AI tools going forward?
Well, I would say that business leaders need to get into the detail. I mean, I'm currently having a weekly meeting with our AI team on the strategy. What are we doing? Where we're investing? What are the blockages? How can I help us move more quickly? I think there is a little bit of AI hype, but I think that when hype declines, that's when we need to invest, because I think consistency and investment in this area is what's going to be important. But I think it's, people say about technology that the impact is much more fundamental, but it always takes longer to happen. And I think it will take maybe longer than people expect, but be much, much more fundamental. And what's important for WPP is a consistent investment approach, but also really understanding at a granular level how it impacts our business. So that's, I think, at the heart of any successful.
Sure. As a leader, because we have seen how the advertising landscape keeps on evolving on a day-to-day basis. Like, so many things have changed over the past couple of years. We have seen that. As a business leader, Mark, how do you take the decision that, how do you convince the internal stakeholders, and how do you take that decision that, okay, this is something that holds a promise for the future? Like, as a leader, how do you take that call?
I think a little bit it's judgment, it's a little bit personal experience, it's a little bit listening to the experts. I think if you compare the metaverse and AI, two of the last few years sort of hype topics, my personal view is the AI will be much more fundamental than the metaverse to how we think. AI maybe will enable parts of the metaverse, but I think that AI is much, much more fundamental.
And what are the challenges in getting the whole organization on board while doing so? Let's say investment in AI, or a new partnership with the likes of, let's say, NVIDIA.
Well, the good thing about WPP is there's no lack of excitement. If anything, the biggest challenge is channeling it in one direction. I mean, everyone wants to use this technology, embrace it. Actually, one of the interesting things is how democratized the technology has become. I mean, because of the hundreds of millions of dollars that Google and Microsoft and OpenAI and others are investing in this technology, it's available at very low cost. So we can use hundreds of billions of dollars of investment to generate new products. So actually a really interesting time where big companies, small companies have very sort of democratized access to AI.
Yeah. Also, if you can share a bit more on the kind of investment that you are putting in specific training programs or policies that are in place to train the talent within the WPP ecosystem for AI and future technologies going forward.
I think, I'd say two interesting examples. So one is we ran a diploma in AI at Oxford University. Actually, Srini, our Indian country manager or president for WPP in India, Srini attended it. And that was really around sort of a lot more kind of big picture, proper Oxford University diploma in AI. And we started that 2 years ago, which shows sort of some of the investment we've been making for some time. At the same time, we run this creative technologies program where we bring young people into the business, people who are just leaving school, or many people who haven't been, don't go to university, as sort of creative apprentices. And we get them to use the technology to solve creative problems. And that's also really interesting because those people bring a different perspective on how to understand, how you can use the technology. They great piece of work they did for L'Oreal, where they used some of the image creation to create images around perfume advertising to capture the meaning of scents using language and imagery together.
Perfect. Now, before we sign off, Mark, some few fun questions that I want to know from you as a person.
These are the ones I always hate, Shivani, but anyway.
You hate them. Come on. Now, since you're in Mumbai,
yes,
and whenever you visit India, what is the fun food item that you like to consume when you're in the country?
I don't know. I mean, I love Indian food, but I'd say the poppadom is the death of me. I can't stop. I find it hard to stop attacking the poppadoms.
The poppadoms.
Yes.
You have it with the rice.
Yeah, I know.
Okay. The next one, wish list for the WPP leaders in the country. Let's start with CVL.
Happiness.
Happiness.
Yeah.
Piyush Pandey.
Oh, well, Piyush is a wonderful creative figure. They made it continue to do great work.
And PK?
PK, well, he knows the media business as well as anybody I know, so we need to have that.
Mark, your favorite market to visit, is it Mumbai or Delhi?
In Mumbai, yes.
In Mumbai.
So it's Mumbai.
It's Mumbai.
Yes.
Okay. Business leader or an Indian client that you look forward to meet when you are in the country?
Actually, sadly, I can't see him, but I saw him with Sunil Mittal. He's been our client at Airtel. What a business he's built. And I've always learned a great sort of, has an amazing both humility and sense of humor and humanity that he brings, to his job and to business and to the way he treats people. So I think that's really important.
Okay. Now, final question, Mark. Moving forward, what are your big plans for the country? Which areas will you continue to invest in? And, how do the next couple of months look like for India? Well,
as you know, any chief executive that flies in always leaves with a target. So my target to Srini is to double the business in the next 5 years. He's enthusiastically signed up to that. But I think that's something that we can do. I think we have to both build our domestic business. I mean, India is such a vibrant, thriving economy, and I think we have to help Indian companies and Indian clients succeed. At the same time, we have the potential to use India to transform the business globally, because of the access to talent. And it's not just about cost, it's actually that blend of talent and efficiency and cost, and where we can train people in these new technologies to help the global business. So I think those would be the ways to achieve that doubling of growth.
Great. Thank you so much. Thanks for sharing these insights with us, Mark. And thank you for visiting the country.
Great. Well, thank you for having me on your program, Shivani. Thanks very much.
With that, it's a wrap on Storyboard this week. You can catch all of our content on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. Thanks for watching. We will be back same time next week. See you soon.